here, and firstly I just wanted to say a massive congratulations for subscribing to this video series. The information that you're going to get from this video and from the next 4 videos to come could potentially change your financial life forever. I don't know exactly how you first heard about me. I've been investing in property for now almost 10 years. I'm the Amazon bestseller of this book, Buy Low, Rent High, which has sold to thousands of people across the world and has changed many, many lives. So what do I want to talk to you about right now? Well, this is the first video. So this is going to be hopefully changing your mind on a few things related to property, related to the economy. And then as we go on, by the end of the 5th video, you should be absolutely away. Some of the topics that we're going to be covering are HMOs, how to buy property with no money, and ultimately how you can become financially free in the next 12 months or less by investing in property and taking these practical steps that I'm going to teach you. So if that sounds good, then you're in the right place, and let's get started. The first thing I want to address is the lies that are taught and accepted in society around finances, around property, and ultimately around your future. I'm going to read a little tiny snippet of my book. If you've not read this, Buy Low, Rent High, I would suggest that you definitely do read it. It might be on its way to you right now in the post, I don't know. If you have read it and you like it, then please do kindly leave me an Amazon review. That would be absolutely incredible. But I want to read this little snippet which is titled The 7 Lies. And some people have found this really controversial. Some people have even been a little bit offended by it. But this is just my opinion. And you can chew the meat, spit out the bones. But you know what? I'm doing pretty okay. So let me read this. When I was at school, if I'd told my teachers that I wanted to become a property investor, they would have said that it was a risky move. They would have told me that if I wanted to guarantee success, then I needed to follow their system. And I'm sure you're familiar with it. It sounds like this. 1, study hard at school, as it's important you get good grades. 2, go on to university if you want to be paid well. 3, get a good job for life. 4, if you buy a house, pay off the mortgage as quickly as possible. 5, save as much as you can to store away safely in the bank. 6, the harder you work, the more money you'll make. 7, look forward to retirement because that's the good life. Now, I'm going to contradict that slightly now and tell you what my experience has been over the last 10 years of being a property entrepreneur. And this is what I believe to be the truth. 1, most people do not benefit from good grades. I told you it's controversial. 2, most people who finish university still struggle to get a job. 3, a good job for life doesn't exist. 4, paying off the mortgage quickly is not smart. 5, your money is shrinking in the bank. 6, some of the poorest people are the hardest workers. 7, if retirement is your motivation, you'll be extremely disappointed. A little bit of a contradiction to what society have us believe. But that's kind of really the foundation of this. The foundation of this is that we've been taught from a young age to work really hard, to get good grades, to save up money, put it in the bank, and then lots and lots of active income. Well, the first thing I want to show you guys is the difference between, and some, by the way, some of this you might already know, and some of it might be quite new to you. But the most dangerous words that you can possibly say, 1 is, I'm gonna do that, and then not do it. And then 2 is, I already know that, but you're not doing it. So the key to be successful is 2 things. The first thing is you need knowledge. And then once you've got knowledge, to be successful, you then need to take a lot of action. So some of the things that I'm going to be going through on this video series, some of it might be new, some of it you might already know, but the bottom line is, I want you to use all this stuff as a tool and then go and do it. And then when you're super successful, you can send me a nice email or leave me an Amazon review. Okay? So the first thing that you need to get into your brain as a property investor. And again, people that invest in property, a lot of people, that they're investing for all the wrong reasons. It's all about feelings, and they've got all these wrong reasons. So we're going to be going through that. But the first thing, in order to become financially free, which is ultimately what this is about, is we need to understand the difference between passive and active income. So passive income is money that you earn every single month, whether you work or not, which is what you get from property. There's lots of other things you can get passive income from: systemized businesses, franchise, vending machines, network marketing, royalties from CDs and books. But I personally think that the best passive income is from property. Active income is the income that you've been programmed to earn from a child, which is where you work once and you get paid once. Not so good. You're trading your time for money, and that's what most people work for. However, you are going to be working for passive income, not active income. And I have done a whole nother video about financial freedom, which you can watch right here. Hopefully it just popped up right there. But financial freedom, the definition of financial freedom, in short, is when your passive income is equal to or greater than your living expenses. So when you hit that, when your passive income is equal to or greater than your living expenses, then guess what? You don't need to work anymore if you don't want to. Guys, I hit this by the age of 21. Okay, so this is really not that difficult, because you don't have to be rich to be financially free. Your living expenses could be £2,000 or £3,000 a month, which is not a big wage at all. But if you're earning that in passive income, then you're free. And then you can start having some fun. So that's the goal. That's the goal for the next 12 months. If you're already financially free, then you can change living expenses to desired lifestyle. But effectively, we need to be building this passive income up. So let me show you something really interesting as we get started, because a lot of people say to me, what are the best types of properties? What should I be buying? So I'll show you something really interesting. If you were to do what most people say you should do and save up lots of money to put it in the bank, and let's say you saved up a whole lot of money, you put it in the bank. Of course, interest rates aren't very high, so you're not going to be getting a lot of interest. So you're going to need to put up quite a lot of money in the bank. Let's say you put £50,000 in the bank in order to get some decent interest. Again, the interest is so low, you're going to have to wait an awful long time for that £50,000 to go up. So let's say you wait 10 years. So you put £50,000 in the bank. Great, good move. You wait 10 years and you don't spend a penny, and you wait for it to appreciate. Well, do you know what actually happens? I did this presentation in front of a group of bankers, and I was terrified. But when I said this, that they all agreed. They all nodded their head. And that is this: your £50,000 after 10 years will now be worth, not 51, not 52, £36,000. How so? Because money depreciates in value. Every single year, every single month, every single day, your money is shrinking in the bank, which is bad news. However, it's bad news for the typical person, because most people have got money in the bank or haven't. But for us, it's not bad news at all, because if you put that same £50,000 into a house, well, guess what? Based on history, and history tends to repeat itself, money in houses go up in value over time. Now, this is how people get rich by mistake. I myself have made over £250,000 just in the last 18 months. I'll say that again. £250,000 in the last 18 months. I made by mistake. I didn't even try and make it. It was just that the capital appreciation on the houses gave me that money. And they say on average, and you may disagree with this number exactly. Again, this isn't my opinion. My opinion doesn't really count for very much. This is history. They say that property prices in England, because we're on a very small island, where we've got a shortage of houses and we've got people literally fighting to get into the country. And wherever there's supply and demand, this happens. They say that properties, on average, double in value every 7 to 9 years. 7 to 9 years. Now, you might think, oh yeah, but what about this and what about that? And I think it's 10. Well, okay, 10 years. Okay, let's say 10 years. On average, your properties double in value every 10 years. Which means that if you put £50,000 into a house and you wait 10 years, it's not gone down to 36, but what? Well, it may have gone up to 100, but here's the really cool thing. That £50,000 is probably the deposit on the house. And the house itself is probably closer to around 200,000. 25%, that's quite conservative. It could be more than 200,000. Well, tell me, what doubles? The deposit on the house or the house? And of course the answer is the house doubles. Which means you put down £50,000 and after 10 years, you've now got £400,000. We call this leverage. And that is how most people get rich by mistake. I mean, literally, you could have the same two people, they both have the same job, they live on the same street, they went to the same school with the same qualifications, they earn the exact same amount of money, they even manage their money the same, they both put aside the same amount. One saves up 50,000, the other saves up 50,000. One puts it in a bank and ends up broke, and one puts it in a house and ends up rich. And this is why communism doesn't work. In fact, it was Jim Rohn who said he teaches his kids to have 2 bicycles, one to ride, one to rent. How difficult does it get with a little ingenuity? And in the exact same way, if we could start, rather than trying to pay off our mortgage as quickly as possible, save and put money in the bank, if we could manage our money properly, and the money that we put aside, we could start putting it into property investment, deposit, buy low, rent high. It doesn't have to be expensive. In fact, I'm even going to be teaching on some other videos how to buy property and get your foot in the door and start gaining from this without starting with any money at all. Might sound too good to be true, but you bear with me and you'll see what will happen. So that is a little bit about why I'm so excited about property. Why am I standing here now teaching you this? What's my agenda? Well, my agenda, I've got 2 reasons. One, when I effectively retired at 21 and I could do what I wanted, I had all the time, I was completely financially free. I started going on holidays and different stuff, and you know what? It's boring making it on your own. All my friends were at university or at dead-end jobs. I'm financially free, but no one wanted to come on holiday with me. And it's boring, so I started teaching. Number 2 is I absolutely love and get such a massive buzz when people message me and say, I saw your video, I came to your Property Investors Crash Course, I read your book, and I've just done XYZ, changed my life, bought a house with no money. My wife just left work. I get a buzz from that. So there's always going to be cynical people around thinking, you know, why are you teaching this? Is this true? Do your own research. This is what I've learned from trial and error and from spending a lot of money on training programs. I'm financially free. I live a real good life now, and this is the foundation of it. So don't believe the 7 lies. I'd read a copy of this if you haven't already, and watch out for my next video coming very, very soon.